He looks self-conscious, slightly uncomfortable all the way through, and he's possibly a bit paranoid. What's up, YouTube? Oh, yes. Yeah, that's good. What's up, YouTube? Hello. I've been meaning to do this for ages, and I think, well, it's going to be fun for me. I hope you enjoy it as well. But this is one of my favourite pop star interviews. This is Pete Doherty, clearly on drugs. And, well, I'll just dive in, literally, because it's very funny, and I'll have to. It's very hard to hear what's going on, so I probably will keep stopping and starting, and trying to go over it for you. Because if you miss it, it's sort of, I've watched this a lot of times, I have to say. So it's not really a reaction. It's a review of a car crash. So let's dive right in. I've done the hand signal there, and off we go.
You must have been elated when the magistrate said you didn't have to go back.
Oh, yeah, I did.
He was elated, so you must have been elated when the magistrate said you didn't have to go back. So I guess I think he's just got out of prison.
You must have been elated when the magistrate said you didn't have to go back.
Oh, yeah, I did. I caught my sister's eye, and
Yeah,
I
caught my sister's eye. And look at the people in the background. They're just, he's in a squat. It's very noisy. They're all fucked, I assume.
Elated when the magistrate said you didn't have to go back.
Oh, yeah, I did. I caught my sister's eye, and
Caught my sister's eye.
Overcome.
You look.
So I was all ready to throw a shit over the plastic that I had, wasn't it?
Why?
What?
No. Actually, Svelli said he did overcome.
Overcome.
So I was all ready to throw a shit over the plastic that I had, wasn't it?
Why?
Throw a shoe over the plastic bloody London. Why? The obvious question.
No. Actually, Svelli said he did that, and he got an extra 2 months for contempt of court. And he said, "I'll do that standing on my head." So she said, "Another 12 months. Time to get back. I'll give you time to get back on your feet."
So listen, what was it like being in
It's like we're already into the territory of Whitnell and I. We sort of gave him 4 years or whatever it is. I'll do that standing on my head. It's another 12 months.
Why?
A brilliant anecdote.
Actually, Svelli said he did that, and he got an extra 2 months for contempt of court. And he said, "I'll do that standing on my head." So she said, "Another 12 months. Time to get back. I'll give you time to get back on your feet."
So listen, what was it like being in Pentonville? It can't have been very nice for you.
You can. Thousands of people every day passing through prison system. It's not a place anyone wants to be, is it?
It's true. No.
Did they recognise you?
Who?
The prisoners.
I love that. Did they recognise you? Who? Who? The guards, the prisoners, the paparazzi.
Thousands of people every day passing through prison system.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not a place anyone wants to be, is it?
Did they recognise you?
Who?
The prisoners.
One or two here and there. It's like, but not really.
Now this is actually quite interesting. You see this scratching he's doing. If when you take heroin, and I haven't ever taken it, but I do know these things. When you take heroin, you get very itchy skin. Morphine basically makes you itch. So I think that's quite telling.
And in the background.
Do you think they gave you more of a hard time because they knew who you were?
With prisoners? No, not really. Why,
Who? The prisoners?
Do you think they gave you more of a hard time because they knew who you were?
With prisoners? No, not really. Why, Docky, what's happening? Good luck, son.
Oh, Docky.
Because the weird thing was you wrote about what it was like to be in Pentonville in your album.
Yeah, we wrote a song. We had a song. It was already written by General. When did you write Pentagon Row?
He needs help.
He's in the cellar.
See, now that's a good explanation. You listen to what this guy says and learn, because he's struggling in this interview. You can see he's very self-conscious. So he's like, take the spotlight off me for a second. It's not all about me. My friend will help me out, and this is the answer
the weird
he
thing
gives.
was you wrote about what it was like to be in Pentonville in your album.
Yeah, we wrote a song. We had a song. It was already written by General. When did you write Pentagon Row?
Listen.
He's in the cell upstairs. I could hear him sing.
Something about a dogfight, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why he wrote it.
Sorry?
That's why he wrote it.
Well, I put music to it, but he used to just be singing out the window.
So listen, tell me, I mean, what?
It's dead about AJ.
When the judge said that when the magistrate said you didn't have to go back into prison, did that make you think, okay, I'm going to try and start afresh with drugs? I'm going to try and leave it behind.
He's definitely going to start afresh with drugs, mate. He's already started afresh with drugs. Look at him. He's sweaty, confused face, lank hair hanging down. Let's see what he responds to that.
But it's a court imposed like order, isn't it? It's the whole close to my head drug.
Close to my head.
I'm going to try and leave it behind.
But it's a court imposed like order, isn't it? It's the whole close to my head.
Close to my head.
A fight against drugs, I suppose they see it as, but I think it's already won. Like the fact they've given me the chance is enough. I think.
Oh
There's a lot more to be getting on with. I mean, it's not going to be instant and easy, but I'm getting another anti-heroin implant. I'm not that much of a junkie anyway. So,
He suddenly thought, wait a minute, I may be on heroin now, but look.
There's a lot more to be getting on with. I mean, it's not going to be instant and easy, but I'm
not going to be.
Another anti-heroin implant. I'm not that much of a junkie anyway. Sorry, what was the question?
The question was, do you think this is the last time that you're going to try drugs? Do you think this is the end?
Is this the last time? Essentially, you're on drugs now, yeah? Is this the last time you're going to try them? Or after this interview, will you go off to the kitchen and bang up a little bit more?
Junkie anyway. Sorry, what was the question?
What was the question?
The question was, do you think this is the last time that you're going to try drugs? Do you think this is the end of you and drugs?
Obviously not.
What, when you realise you're not allowed to take drugs again? Yeah.
I honestly think at that point, you see his face, yeah? And it's like he's thinking. He's a bit paranoid. He's thinking, does she know I'm on drugs? Does she know I'm on? Does she? I'll take the spotlight off myself. Ask a friend. Ask the audience.
The question was, do you think this is the last time that you're going to try drugs? Do you think this is the end of you and drugs?
What, when you realise you're not allowed to take drugs again? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you've tried it before. Oh, do you think the press have made you out to be more of a junkie than you are? Is that unfair? Have they been unfair?
I try not to read it, to be honest, but... Try to
Weirdy. His friend helps.
I mean, you've tried it before. Oh, do you think the press have made you out to be more of a junkie than you are? Is that unfair? Have they been unfair?
I try not to read it, to be honest, but...
Weird.
Certain publications from the household, but yeah, you can't. Yeah, definitely. But that's part of it, isn't it? So, it's cartoon characters been created, and it doesn't really exist outside of it.
There he is.
Just thought a little. I don't know. I suppose so.
I mean, do you think part of the reason why you admitted to possessing all those drugs was because you kind of want...
Because they found them on me with my fingerprints all over them.
Not because you thought, okay,
Do you think, so what she's saying is, do you think you sort of wanted to be caught, didn't you, really? Because you sort of, it was like a cry for help. No, that's not it. I've got you.
I don't know. I suppose so.
I mean, do you think part of the reason why you admitted to possessing all those drugs was because you kind of want...
Because they found them on me with my fingerprints all over them.
Not because you thought, okay, I want to be found out.
Well, honestly, that's never consciously occurred to me, no.
That wouldn't consciously occur to you, no.
And what now is just being helped,
chunky.
isn't it? I'm not going to make light of the fact that I've been given a good chance to stop taking.
Right, and I'm off. Totally distracted.
There's an ashtray there.
It's been good. It's been a good interview.
Am I picking
No,
more?
he's back.
No, but
Nodding
Okay,
away.
well, let's talk about, so tonight, what's happening tonight? Or tell me what you've done since you left prison. I mean, you must have been on a real...
What have you done since you left prison? I've done heroin, I've done weed, I've done MDMA, bit of GHB.
Or tell me what you've done since you left prison. I mean, you must have been on a real...
He thinks about it. Look,
being free.
yeah.
he's
Can't wait for
thinking
my
about...
to be free, man. So I can have a kid. And another thing, yeah, we've done a couple of gigs, and we're going to do a gig tonight. In fact, would you like to come along? Like, not just you,
I mean, not
as well.
just
Mrs. Miggins and Carlisle.
Mrs. Miggins and Carlisle.
So,
Mrs. Miggins and Carlisle. I think he was slightly worried that she might think he was asking her out.
In fact,
Because look,
would you
he's...
like to come along?
Come along.
Like, not just you,
cameraman as well.
I mean, not just you.
Mrs. Miggins and Carlisle.
Okay, so, what happens now? Where do you go from here?
Coco's, right.
I mean, more generally.
What happens now? Where do you go from here? I'll get the Cocos. Oh, right. Sorry, I'm confused. I was confused.
Okay, so,
And I think when she says what happens now, she's actually subconsciously she's thinking about the interview, isn't she? She's like, what the fuck happens now? What do we do next?
what happens now? Where do you go from here?
Coco's, right.
I mean, more generally.
More generally.
Well, I went to my first probation meeting, and I suppose what gear my life around sticking to working with them, probation service, the NHS,
NHS.
psychiatric doctor they've assigned to, and just overly start a drug-free life. That
It's a good thing this is an interview and not his first probation meeting, because he's not very convincing, is he? Oh, it's to start a new life, you know.
I'm looking forward to.
What do you think will happen without drugs?
I don't know. What do you think will happen to you without drugs? I don't know.
What do you think life will get better? More creative?
To which the answer is, I'm not on drugs.
Forward to.
What do you think will happen without drugs?
I don't know. What do you think will happen to you without drugs? I don't know.
What do you think life will get better? More creative?
Huh?
Will life get better?
Will life get better? Some days I'm sure it will.
No.
Cloudy autumn morning, and it will and it won't. As it's the same for everyone, already.
Okay, so tell me about...
Now that's wise words. Listen.
Will life get better? Some days I'm sure it will.
Yes, we will.
Cloudy autumn morning, and it will and it won't. As it's the same for everyone, already.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
true.
so tell me about... You said you kept a diary
I always what always.
when you were in prison. What sort of things did you write in there? What did you think about? What did you write
I'm
about?
in prison.
Well, you know what, actually it's a bit repetitive. It's just the plot's got one theme, and that is I'm somewhere I don't really want to be, but then you can just lose yourself in fiction. I do write a little song.
Oh, excellent.
This life ain't for the living, it's for the dead unbound. Forget me or forgive me, I know I let you down. The slave's caress is mask and tape to the. I think we've got it. Definitely.
That's the worst. So tell me about Mr. Doherty. Tell me about your new song, and maybe share some lyrics, and let's get a feel of what that's all about. Here we go.
And tape to the. I think we've got it.
Sorry, I didn't.
For the
Here we
living.
are. I should have gone back.
You can just lose yourself in fiction.
Mr. Doherty, tell us about your song. Please explain. Nice.
For the living, it's for the dead unbound. Forget me or forgive me.
Good,
I know I
good lyric.
let you down. The slave's caress is mask and tape to the. I think we've got it.
Yeah, I think I've got the idea. Yeah.
You can put, I've got you put subtitles on it.
You can put subtitles on it. Yeah. And it'll all make
I just
sense.
want to ask you, I mean, a lot of people said that you shouldn't have got off with such a lenient sentence. A few drugs charities, they said young people look up to you, and that basically...
I guess they did.
Then hopefully I won't let them down. If they're looking up to me to what? How would that mean I shouldn't get off though? If young people look up to me,
It's not.
Some people
all right.
say that you should be made an example of because you're so...
It's not a simple concept. All right, young people look up to you. Should you've got off so lightly? That's the question.
to what? How would that mean I shouldn't get off though? If young people look up to me,
Because some people say that you should be made an example of because you're so high profile.
I am being made an example of. They're saying that they're not going to accept that I take crack and heroin, right?
Yeah.
That's the court imposed order, and they're going to monitor it, blood tested twice a week, and there's no way around it. So that's the punishment that fits the crime.
There's no way around it.
If you weren't famous, would you...
I bet
And they're
there
going to
is.
monitor it, blood tested twice a week, and there's no way around it. So
Yow!
that's the punishment that fits the crime. Then
What does he say?
they're not going to accept that I take crack and heroin, right? That's the court imposed order, and they're going to monitor it, blood tested twice a week, and there's no way around it. So that's the punishment
Yow!
that fits the crime.
Yow!
If you weren't famous, would you have gone back into
If I wasn't
prison?
famous, I wouldn't have probably had the like extreme fucking kind of corrupt misfortune that led me to be there in the first place in the top.
Corrupt misfortune of getting caught.
But
Pete?
I'm
Pete?
sure like
Pete?
Harry and
What
Lester,
happened
I
there?
think it should have
If you weren't famous, would you have gone back into
If I wasn't
prison?
famous, I wouldn't have probably had the like extreme fucking kind of corrupt misfortune that led me to be there in the first place in the top. But
Pete?
I'm sure like
don't
Harry
know
and
what
Lester, I
happened.
think that should have been banged up. You know what I mean? He wouldn't say that if it was him, would he?
When people say that your fans, when they're trying to help you with kindness by giving you or help or playing
Giving
along
you
with
drugs.
Playing
it's just
along with it.
playing along with the whole lifestyle. It's just making it harder for you to walk away from it.
Led me to be there. in the
Giving
first
you
place
drugs.
in the
She actually said that. That's quite funny.
top. But
Pete?
I'm sure like Harry and Lester, I think that should have been banged up. You know what I mean? He wouldn't say that if it was him, would he?
Harry and Lester, yeah.
When people say that your fans, when they're trying to help you with kindness by giving you or playing along with
Giving
it.
you drugs.
It's just-
Playing
Playing along with the whole lifestyle. It's just making it harder for you to walk away from it.
I don't know. It's a strange question because I play in a band, and generally the people you call fans are people who are into the music of the band, not necessarily prescriptions, and I'm sure that's the case.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that.
When
Don't tell me behind all that glorifying mythology.
That's right.
people do glorify you, though.
Hyped up my dingle.
Dingle.
But they do, though. I
Hey,
mean, you
mate.
were like the Messiah.
Dame a dingle.
When
Don't tell me behind all that glorifying mythology.
people do glorify you, though.
Hyped up my dingle.
Piped up my dingle.
But they do, though. I mean, you were like the Messiah of
Is that
music.
what he said? I think he says, I'm piped out of my piped up my dingle. I'm piped out of my dingle. Listen,
People do glorify you though.
Piped up my dingle.
he is.
They do though. I mean, you were
are.
like the messiah of music. Were, still are.
Not really though, is he? Or was he?
I think she's talking to you.
Okay, so listen, did you, what,
I don't want to answer that.
So-
He's saying.
I'm going to ask you about Kate Moss.
No, you shouldn't really. It's a bit rude not asking about your fella. Right.
I'm married.
Oh yeah? It's a maternity ring.
He's really pissed
Show
off
me your
me
ring.
tonight.
He doesn't believe her.
But anyway, that's a whole other story.
Oh, what's
And then
going
did you
on?
talk to him?
Right.
I'm married.
Oh yeah? It's a maternity ring.
He's really pissed off me for coming tonight. But anyway, that's a whole other story.
Bit
And
flirting.
did you talk to her when she came back to England?
Huh?
Did you talk to her when she came back to England?
I tell you, I want to talk to you about it. I mean, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard enough talking to my friends, right?
It's hard
So,
enough
then I
talking.
Start with you all right. The camera's not really fair, is it?
No, it's not very fair, is it?
Hmm? You nosy thing. It's only a bit of gossip, don't you?
Oh, gossip. We just want to get to the bottom of the story.
You nosy thing.
What do you mean get to the bottom of the story? It's people's lives.
What
isn't
happened?
It? Story, is it?
It's actually, no. Good point. I like that. I think that's, yeah, it is
So
people's
we just want to
lives.
get to the bottom of the story.
I agree.
What do you mean get to the bottom of the story? It's people's lives.
What
isn't
happened?
It? Story, is it? Hmm?
What happened?
Nothing.
What do you mean what happened? I met someone, fell in love with them. Ups and downs, isn't it? Come on, I'm off the edge, Joel.
Okay, well, let's talk about tonight's gig.
I
One
think
more
she's
minute and
pissed
then
him
we'll go
off
into
now.
it.
Alright.
Okay. So this is your first gig since you've been out of prison.
No.
It's your second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excited.
Can't wait, yeah.
Yeah?
Play a few tunes, try out a few new ones, eh?
Whoops, he's gone. I love that. Now, seriously, but it is serious because, yeah, I mean, I know I'm laughing. I know I'm laughing, and I know I'm laughing at someone who is on strong drugs of an illegal nature, and obviously there are people who will say that's not funny, and it, you know. Objectively it's not funny, but I suppose, you know, I've been there. I mean we've all been there, you know, when you've even just smoking too much of the wacky backy, you know, the hashish, the marijuana, as us old people call it. It's funny. I feel sorry for him though. He looks self-conscious, slightly uncomfortable all the way through, and you know, he's possibly a bit paranoid. And he's like, you know, fucking hell, I'm fucked on drugs, and I've got the camera in my face, and there's this girl talking to me, asking questions. I've got to try and like make sense. I also think probably by the end of that interview, it's about 10 minutes long, he's probably off to take some more. Yeah, poor guy. It is obviously very sad, but also very funny. So there you go. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed that, and do give to drug charities, obviously, and if you know people who are on drugs, you know, I wish you all the best, because it's extremely difficult to manage, and not a laughing matter at all if you have to deal with it, or indeed if you're on drugs yourself. But that is very funny. Don't nobody go